nooks and crannies of this nation. OSBC brings you the news. News across the country.
Good evening and welcome to the news across the country. I am Elushayo Babatunde. Agency X-Trace anti-corruption campaign of the Buhari administration. Osun Amotekun boss resigns. Court vacates interim forfeiture order on Ekwuremado's property. Husband, wife, 4 children died in Benue attack. Now the news in full. As President Muhammadu Buhari prepares to hand over power to the next administration in a few months, the Executive Secretary of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, Professor Sadiq Issa Rada, has announced that the committee is organizing a conference to examine the anti-corruption campaign of the Buhari administration. According to Professor Rada in a statement, the goal of the conference is also to have a critical evaluation of the fight against corruption in the country. According to him, an event with the theme "The Fight Against Corruption, the Past, the Present and the Future" will be declared open by President Muhammadu Buhari on January 26, 2023 at the National Judicial Institute in Jabi, the Federal Capital Territory. It recalled that the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption has been on the forefront of the battle to combat corruption since 2015, which has been the central tenet of the Buhari administration. He noted that the campaign against corruption in Nigeria needs to be reviewed comprehensively as President Buhari prepares to hand over power to the next administration. He stressed that the committee, supported by a 7-month technical committee, was established with a mandate to promote the reform agenda of the government on the anti-corruption efforts and to advise the present administration in the prosecution of the war against corruption and the implementation of required reforms in Nigeria's criminal justice system. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari will be in Lagos State next week on a 2-day working visit to inaugurate projects undertaken by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration. This was disclosed today by the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Bengal Motosho, while addressing journalists in the government's plans for the president's visit. According to Motosho, President Buhari, who will arrive on Monday, will open 5 iconic projects between his arrival and departure on Tuesday. The projects to be opened are the Lekki Deep Sea Port, the 32 metric tons per hour Lagos Rice Mill, the 18.75 kilometer 6-lane rigid pavement Ileko Junction to Ekpe Expressway, John Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History, and the iconic Lagos Blue Line Rail project, as well as an open private sector project in Apapa. Osun State Governor has directed that henceforth it should officially be addressed as Senator Ademola Jackson Adeleke for the purpose of uniformity. This was contained in the circular from the Office of the State Head of Service, Mr. Leya Eno. The circular explained that the director became necessary in view of the fact that since inception of the present administration in the state on November 27, 2022, heads of various ministries, departments and agencies of the state government had not been consistent while addressing Mr. Governor. The governor therefore ordered that all correspondences should henceforth read Osun State as against the state of Osun, and the use of the National Coat of Arms logo instead of the state of Osun logo. Adeleke added that all memoranda should henceforth be prepared on blue laminated sheet, while all the same information should be strictly adhered to and reflected in all official matters to be issued out. The full commander of Osun State Security Network Agency, also known as Amotekun Corps, Amitoro Shito, has resigned his position in organization. Mr. Shito did not give any specific reason for his resignation in a letter addressed to the Secretary of the State Government dated 20th January, a copy of which was obtained in Osogbo today. But none of the administration of the immediate past governor of Osun. Mr. Shito, however, stated in his letter that while in office he struggled with operational challenges shown up by the enemy within the top hierarchy of the Corps, while giving thanks to God for giving him the strength to carry the responsibility of the agency from day one of his appointment as Pioneer Director General and the first head of Amotekun in Osun State. Mr. Shito appreciated former Governor Adegboyega Oyetola for the confidence reposed in him and the unrestricted opportunity to contribute his quota to security development of Osun State. The core spokesperson in the state, Idowu Yusuf, confirmed Shito's legislation but refrained from making further comments on the development. Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State has approved January 26 and 27 as work-free days in the state to enable civil and public servants to collect their permanent voter cards, PVC. This is contained in a statement by Mr. Eric Anderson, the Commissioner for Information and Orientation in Calabar. Governor Ayade said the work-free days became necessary to enable residents of the state to participate fully in the 2023 general election scheduled for February 25 and March 11. According to the governor, civil and public servants in the state are advised to take advantage of the work-free days to get their PVCs in readiness to make their votes count in the elections. It should be recalled that the ongoing collection of PVC in the nation is scheduled to end on January the 29th. The Central Bank of Nigeria's plan to ensure that Nigerians have access to its newly redesigned Naira notes via the ATMs is becoming a reality as many ATMs around the Lagos Island now dispense the new notes. Reports say the CBN monitors some banks in Lagos Island and their ATMs to check the development of compliance with the directive to launch the newly redesigned notes in their machines. The Apex Bank had given a directive to banks to stop paying the new 1,000 Naira, 500 and 200 Naira notes over the counter so as to enable customers to have access to the new notes even when banking halls are closed for business. 12 days to the deadline after which the old notes will cease to be legal tender, the Apex Bank's team, who visited some banks around Tinubu Square, expressed satisfaction at the level of compliance. The newly redesigned 1,500 and 200 Naira notes bill will become legal tender, which became legal tender on December 15, 2022, will cease to be legal tender from January 31. It should be recalled that the CBN Governor Emefiele has said that the January 21 deadline remains sacrosanct. He called on commercial banks to approve the Apex Bank branches across the country to pick up the new Naira notes as some of the conditionality for accessing currency notes have been waived in order to accommodate the banks. The management of Ogiye Microfinance Bank has reassured its shareholders and numerous customers of the commitment of the bank towards maximizing stakeholders' wealth through the employment of modern technology to drive the business and deliver more efficient services. The reassurance came to the fore at the 17th annual general meeting of Ogiye Microfinance Bank held in Ejigbo. Oluchiamada has the details.
The 17th annual general meeting of Ogiye Microfinance Bank Ejigbo brought together management, shareholders and customers of the bank who converged to consider the audited financial statement for the year ended December 31st, 2021, auditor's report as well as the audit committee's report, and thereon declared dividend and the election of new directors, among others. While addressing the gathering, Chairman Board of Directors of Ogiye Microfinance Bank, Mr. Timi Lawuri, who appreciated the customers of the bank for their patronage at all times, in spite of the keen competition in the market, noted that the board members will continue to work as a team and remain selfless in their service to the bank.
We will double our effort to do even more than we have been doing before. We had a center in Outla. We just built a bank, a small bank there, and we hope to go like that throughout Osun State, so that we can give everybody a chance to be part of this system.
In his remarks, one of the board of directors of Ogiye Microfinance Bank, Prince Olufemi Oyewole, stated that the bank recorded huge success despite the challenges, most especially the increasing inflationary trend that is affecting Nigeria's economy.
Most companies have actually closed down because of diesel. But thank God we have kept using diesel but we have also introduced solar to make sure that our costs can be managed appropriately, so that we don't pass the entire burden onto our cost structure in the organization. So we are doing that, and we're also making sure that the efficiency rates of each of our employees are increasing, so that cost per employee and per results will also improve. And that's the basis upon which we have survived, and the kind of results we have seen for 2021, which will also see greater results in 2022, is based on the trust and commitment of our staff towards this, and the strategic thrust to deal with the exigencies of today.
Also speaking, Managing Director of the financial institution, Mr. Murakiyo, maintained that Oginyon Microfinance Bank remains resolute in its vision to become one of the leading microfinance banks in Nigeria in terms of deposit volume, grassroots microfinance coverage, and resource allocation.
For 2021, the profit margin that we had was nothing less than 20%. It's quite impressive and good for any organization.
Highlights of the audited financial account of Oginyon Microfinance Bank Ejigbo showed that gross earnings for 2021 stood at 141,352,711 naira. Profit before taxation was 23,803,630 naira, while profit after taxation stood at 17,015,268 naira. The event climaxed with the distribution of dividends to the shareholders of the bank. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
A 25-year-old Ojileye Naimat Diniola is seeking financial support of the government and well-to-do in the society to cure an alleged spiritual attack. Omutayo has the details.
Niniola, a young school leaver, a pharmacist technician by training, but her ordeal started when she fell only to wake up and see part of her body, including her 2 hands and 2 legs, swollen. What could have resulted to this? The parents of Niniola, who are petty trader, told the part of African Science Research and Medical Science Research, where it was revealed that Niniola was under a spiritual attack. All they could get, as narrated by Niniola, has been expended on her. Hence, they seem fed up with her condition, narrating her ordeal. With OSBC News, Niniola recalled how her uncle, who is now deceased, hypnotized her, giving her black soap to wash her head before the result of the sores over her body came to bear. At a point, she betrayed emotions, saying that her present condition has affected her academic pursuit and other lofty vision she has for herself.
I have a lot of things to do in life. I'm still young and I will surely do it by the grace of God.
She said she needed the sum of 100,000 naira for her treatment. Should you be touched by her flight, you can contact her on 081-3291-6524 or send to her account number 3104053716. First Bank, account name Oyileye Noimot Niniola.
This is the news across the country coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West Nigeria. Now our news message. The rule of law and constitutionalism coupled with the citizens' right are the main ingredients of a sovereign nation. Be patriotic. Beads are small decorative pieces used for creating necklaces, bracelets, and used to adorn clothing materials to improve beauty and one's aesthetics. OSBC Fashion News today takes a look at the importance of beads as fashion accessories. Let's now join Daniel Ekwere as our guide.
Bead is a small decorative piece that is used for creating necklaces, bracelets, and an assortment of decorative gowns or attires. They can be found in multitude of size, usually 1 millimeter to 1 centimeter, and have adorned the human body for thousands of years as jewelries dating back to 100,000 years. The artistic appeal of beads has made them extremely popular amongst many cultures and the fashion industry. Beads are used as clothing accessories, which greatly adds to the eye appeal and the value of the clothing or item. They are made of a variety of natural and synthetic materials, most of which are polished and pierced to allow them to be threaded. Many ethnic groups in Nigeria have a strong attachment to the use of beads as an important part of their culture. The Igbos call it Mbaji, while in Hausa language it is called Jigida. For the Yorubas, beads play a very significant role in many cultural events. They are major features during many traditional festivals, during which devotees and participants decorate their bodies with beads of different shapes and sizes to show beauty. Yoruba people are glamorous in dressing, using a lot of beads as necklaces, earrings and bracelets. They also use it to decorate their hair. Mostly crowns, shoes and walking sticks of obas are decorated with expensive beads to showcase royalty and status. However, in recent times, beads are being used in fashion industry to showcase fashion and wealth, or something that is trendy among both the young and the old generations. Beaded necklaces are worn by both men and women to occasions and traditional events. When worn on traditional Yoruba ethnic attires such as fabrics like laces, Ankara prints and more, the beaded jewelries make bride or any occasion celebrants appear royal and make the individual look elegant. Beads are worn as fashion accessories to improve the aesthetic qualities of an individual and also complement their dressing. It signifies uniqueness in style and expression and also provides a new modern look in fashion. OSBC Fashion News sought the opinion in favor of Ugu, who said beads are used as a medium of improving aesthetics of clothing.
A fashion trend that is widely spread in Africa and some foreign countries right now is beads as accessories, like accessories to complement dresses, to complement any fashion clothes or any fashion dress at all. But beads have also become popular in various cultures and even in the fashion industry due to the artistic appeal. Like beads are now used as clothing embellishments to enhance the visual appearance of clothes, and it also enhances the value of clothes.
While speaking with Olaiton Adetoyeshe, she viewed that beads are still in vogue and hold great significance to the Yoruba fashion culture.
Of course, beads are still in vogue. They are ornaments that are used to adorn the body, and they are of great significance to the Yoruba culture. Come to think of it, this Oshun worshipper, they still make use of bead. We have the Ifa worshippers too. They make use of bead as a means of identification. It's so peculiar to the Oshun worshipper that even on their necklace or on your bead, they inscribe Oshun, just for you to know that, okay, this particular bead is for Oshun worshippers. So I feel, it is part of our culture that would never go into extinction. Due
to its versatility and visual appeal, beads have been and continues to be a commonly made and sold item throughout the world. They can be found at any variety, fashion or clothing outlets, as well as online distributors. Daniel Ekwere for OSBC Fashion News.
A federal high court in Abuja has set aside the interim order of forfeiture issued on property belonging to the former Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu. Presiding Judge Yang Eko made this known today in his ruling on the case. Justice Eko held that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission concealed facts when it applied for an interim forfeiture of the assets. The first-class paramount ruler of Agwan Izere, His Royal Highness Oba Dr. Isaac Azi Waziri, who was abducted at his palace in Shere district of Jos East in the early hours of today, have been rescued by security operatives. Reports say gunmen suspected to be bandits kidnapped the paramount ruler at his palace situated in Shere district of Jos East around 3 a.m. today. An eyewitness who preferred anonymity claimed that a police sergeant on guard at the palace was shot while a civilian security attack to the monarch was killed. The Plateau State Police spokesperson DSP Alfred Alabo confirmed the incident, adding that the monarch has been rescued and 2 kidnapped suspects arrested by operatives. Nigeria's main opposition party has been greeted with shocking news as the party's local government chairman in Enugu, SKP Ogbuagu, is reported dead. According to report, the acting chairman of the PDP in Udi local government area of Enugu State slumped and died during the party's campaign rally today. It was gathered that Ogbuagu, who is said to be asthmatic, had issues with his health towards the end of the party's rally and was rushed to a nearby hospital yesterday where he gave up the ghost. The report says Ogbuagu had earlier in the day collapsed during a town hall meeting of the governorship candidate of the party held at Azaigu local government area headquarters. Several persons, including 2 members of the Benue State House of Assembly, were injured when the convoy of the state governor, Samuel Ortom, was today involved in a car crash. The accident occurred in the morning when the governor and the People's Democratic Party supporters were traveling to the Utokon community of Adi local government area in continuation of the party's governorship campaign rally. Report has it that the incident occurred when the driver of a branded bus fully loaded with PDP supporters lost control. He rammed into 3 vehicles, a jeep, a security vehicle, and another bus in the convoy. Several people, including the state lawmakers representing Goma and Gwande West in the State Assembly, were injured. Meanwhile, the incident which happened also affected other vehicles. Gunmen in the early hours of today kidnapped the sole administrator of the Ideaton North Local Government area of Imo State, Chris Ohizu, and 2 others. This was after his country home in the Umoko community in Arundizogo was raised by his attackers. A source revealed that the council boss was shot before he was whisked away with 2 others by their attackers, together with 2 others after burning his house at Umoko community in Arundizogo. Another source who confirmed the development declared the spate of insecurity going on in the area. About 8 persons have been killed by persons suspected to be Fulani herdsmen at Abagena village opposite the internally displaced persons camp, Makurdi. According to reports, a man, his wife, and 4 children, including their dog, were among those that were shot dead by the herdsmen that went on rampage. The police populations officer, PPRO, Benue State Command of the Nigerian Police, Suweze Amene, who confirmed the incident today, said she was yet to have details of the attack. It was further revealed that the herdsmen had decapitated the heads of most of their victims and carted them away after the attack. It was also gathered that many other victims were deadly injured in the attack, while some of them that were shot in the chest had very slim chances of survival. Among the bodies that were recovered were the corpses of women and children, while the injured have been moved to the hospital for proper treatment. The 8th Fidel prayer of Madam Alimot Sadia Adelu holds tomorrow at Asauddin Central Mosque Sports Field, Sabo Osogbo, Osun State. Released by Oyeshiko Adelu, one of the children of the deceased, on behalf of the family, indicates that the prayer session will hold in the morning. Madam Alimot Sadia Adelu, who died last Friday, had been buried according to Islamic rites. In our Tokyo sports, 48 players have been invited to the Golden Eagles camp in Abuja ahead of this year's CAF UIT AFCON in Algeria. Adeyemi Aboderi has the details.
The Golden Eaglets will begin their preparations for this year's African Under-17 Cup of Nations on Monday after head coach Nduka Ugbade called 48 players to camp in Abuja. The invitees, which include most of the bunch that won WAFU B Under-17 Championship in the Ghanaian city of Cape Coast, have been told to report to the Abuja camp today. The African Under-17 Cup of Nations has been scheduled for Algeria from the 8th to 30th of April, from which the 4 top place teams will qualify to represent the continent at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup Finals that will be staged in Peru from the 10th to the 2nd of December. Nigeria Golden Eaglets are 5-time champions of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup after triumph in China in 1985, Japan in 1993, Korea Republic in 2007, United Arab Emirates in 2013, and Chile in 2015. Meanwhile, the concluding part of the Match Day 2 of the 2023 Nigeria Premier Football League was held on Thursday across the country, and it was a good outing for Remo Stars as they secured an away win at Gombe United. It was Andy Okwe who netted the only goal of the game in the 88th minute and handed the Sky Blue Boys maximum 3 points. In Akure, Sunshine Stars have to rely on an 84th minute penalty from Ejike Ozoye after Rivers United took the lead in the 23rd minute. Kwara United turned out to be a difficult opponent for Shooting Stars Sport Club of Ibadan. final as they secured a valuable away point at the Lekan Salami Stadium at Damasigba, Ibadan after they played out a goalless draw. Bendel Insurance continued its impressive performance in the league with a 2-1 win over Plateau United in Benin City. Other results showed that Niger Tornadoes defeated visiting Doma United 1-0, while Ekanemi Warriors of Maiduguri were 2-1 better than visiting Nasarawa United. In the meantime, the interim management committee of the Nigerian Premier Football League has explained that increment in referees' indemnity by 50% and upfront payment of the money is a major reason the match officials are on top of their games, leading to impressive results recorded in the league. Chairman IMC Benga Elegbeleye, who disclosed it at the brutal calmness of home fans to IMC's stance on 3-point deduction for home violence caused by fans in the match day 1 of the 2023 MPFL. 4 away wins and 4 away draws were recorded, while 1 away and 3 draws were recorded on match day 2. No violence has been recorded so far in the league despite home teams losing points. After the conclusion of first round games, organizers of the Nigerian Women Football League have announced a mid-season break for the teams. The first round of the season ended on Wednesday with Edo Queens and Delta Queens leading the table on groups A and B. The second round will resume on the 8th of next month, but the transfer window will run from January 23rd to February 3rd. It was a cold start for Nigeria's table tennis star Haruna Quadri at the World Table Tennis Contender in Doha as he bowed out in the first round to Portuguese Naco Freitas. Though Haruna dominated the first round and was able to finish on top, but a decent performance saw Freitas bounce back to upset the Nigerian star to secure a spot in the next round 5-11, 11-7, 11-9 and 13-11. Mixed martial arts superstar Francis Ngannou is eyeing a big boxing bout with British superstar Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua following his shock exit from UFC. He was stripped of his undisputed heavyweight title by UFC and is now free to pursue other opportunities. Sport Update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Abodemi.
And to end the news across the country, here again are the major points. As the President Muhammadu Buhari prepares to hand over power to the next administration in a few months, the Executive Secretary of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, Professor Sadiq Isarada, has announced that the committee is set to examine the anti-corruption campaign of the Buhari administration. And the Field Marshal of Osun State Security Network Agency, also known as Amatekun Corps, Amitolu Shitu, has resigned his position in the organization. A federal high court in Abuja has set aside the interim order of forfeiture issued on property belonging to the former Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu. I reported that about 8 persons, including a man, his wife, and 4 children, and their dog, have been killed by a person suspected to be Fulani herdsman at Abagena village opposite the internally displaced persons camp in Makudi. That was good news across the country as put together by Olushayo Babatunde. Good evening.